Let's fight. A very good evening to each and every one of you. Let's fight. 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 Welcome in the ring, folks. Claudine LaRose Piqua. Happy belated birthday to you, Claudine. Happy belated birthday to you, and a good evening to all the folks joining us from Kokwani. A special good night to you all. Share the live wherever you're joining us from, folks. That emoji button for us. Share that live for us. Share the live, folks, and smash that emoji button. We want as many persons to get the valid and credible information. We're happy that you folks are here with us. We are tremendously happy. We're dotting the I's, we're crossing the T at our end. Good to have all of you on with us this evening, folks. It's a privilege. Nothing short of a privilege to have each and every one of you here. We're sharing the live too. We're going to smash that emoji button for yourself. Sometimes you got to toot your own horn. Where are you joining us from this evening, folks? Pace and power. Welcome to our broadcast. Smash that emoji button. What's happening in the indigenous community? What's happening in the indigenous community? We're taking you into Region 1 right away as we start. PK, Port Kaituma. What's happening there, folks, in this sub-region, the Martikai sub-region? What's happening there? Folks, whenever the PPP touch something in this country, my God, the boys touch something got to go wrong. That's where we starting from this evening, folks. That's where we starting from. That is the open as we start. Share the live for us and smash. Share and smash. We're happy to have all of you folks here. And we take you right away, folks. Trouble in PK. Why the village and the village council cannot control the village assets? Why is that? Take a look. Take a listen.
Bike was stored all the time.
I am not.
It's not supposed to be at anybody's home, Mr. Larry.
I am not. I know what I'm saying and I know what I'm doing.
This bike is needed to do work.
Don't video nobody in this yard here.
I am not.
Don't video, go on the road.
Don't touch me.
Don't on the road. Don't video nothing inside here. You can't come nobody promise and video nothing.
Where's your premises?
Come out my yard.
You can't come in here and video nobody. That is not nice.
Are you calling my yard? No videoing. Because she said nobody video nobody. Don't video nobody.
Mr. Larry, I need the bike.
I'm not giving it to you.
Oh, you're not giving it? When you were in need of this bike, I never denied any one of y'all. When you were in need, when I received this bike was in a terrible condition.
So why
and
you come this afternoon?
And you were
You making decisions,
No.
you doing things or behind our back.
You were the counselor for gold. And when I received this bike was in a terrible condition. And now the bike picks up and it's in a good condition. And you playing the bass for it now like you did every single thing with it. You so claiming that you had so much responsibility. Why you didn't make sure that the bike was handed over in a good condition? Why didn't you make sure that the bike was in a good condition to be handed over? Why you didn't make sure that?
Well, y'all know why I did what I did. I think y'all are aware of it. Why Miss Jean is handling the funds. And if I feel safe with Miss Jean, maybe I might be going wrong against certain things. But as a show, if I recognize certain thing and I put Miss Jean there and all y'all are against that, I have my reasons why I did it.
Yes, we understand the claim, but then it looks as if the council have no authority because we have an elected treasurer for the village. And that is what we're looking for, the elected person by the council body begin.
No, but I don't know. But in this body, everybody have authority because we're supposed to function collectively. But if we ain't functioning collectively, what must the Tushaw do then? What am I there for? To go along with what y'all this want and not what the people want? That is what I'm placed there for, people to control me and to use me, and I must do whatever they want to do. By who? By who?
You're supposed to know who control you.
No, I want you to say it by who. Don't be afraid.
Advice to you.
No, you don't be afraid. You speak. You call names. Because if you accuse, no, Mr. Muntami, if you're accusing me of certain things, you have to speak. You can't just accuse people and not want to speak.
For things go good, for the council function properly, we need the elected treasurer to start functioning in her right capacity. That is what we're looking for.
But you know, it's funny that you would speak there, you know. It's very funny because you were the elected treasurer for the former village council. And look how many complaints was made against Mr. Bunbury. And you never stood up and said anything. And you were the elected treasurer. Yeah, well, you never even give a proper financial statement.
Well, we don't look into that.
Oh, we ain't looking there. We want to go back there.
And you want to raise it.
No, but listen. Listen, let Mr. Monsami listen.
You understand?
I respect y'all.
Yeah.
You understand? But I am not handing over anything. I already told Miss Roxanne Rajab that Miss Jean was keeping money. She was keeping monies. We need to reach properly to have the financial statement done. Financial statement for June and July is finished. The people asking for a proper financial statement because all the rumors were going on, and by right we're supposed to give one. So the people deserve to know and to see things. Me and just handing over things like that to people who I don't trust. You understand? Because y'all clearly show me that I can't trust none of y'all. This way y'all show me. One by one, y'all reveal yourself. And this is, I don't think we are a village council anymore. I honestly don't think so.
I understand what she's saying, that she wouldn't do no handing over until Minister Ramson.
Let who come, let them come, let them speak and tell me what we got to do. Because
good morning to one and all. We are here at the RDC building. As you can see, the RDC building is right behind me. If you notice, the police and the CDO is up on the top floor just behind me there. We have come along here with some residents, along with our Tushao, to uplift our community bike, in which 2 residents from the 4 Miles village, 2 councillors with no right, no violation under the Amerindian Act, came and uplifted our bike on the 10th. The CDO allowed them to do it and to park it at the RDC. We, the residents, have just came and uplifted our bike and took it back to the 4 Miles village. We just saw them call the police, but when we went to the police told us that they could not intervene. It's a village issue. Now we see the CDO has called the police. So we're looking to see what is their next move. But we, the residents, are here at the RDC building. We came with a petition of 75 persons, and still she refused to hand over back our bike. We have residents here. We have our Tushao present here also. And we're waiting to see what is their next move. We are here at the RDC building. We just come from the CDO's office requesting the community bike. We are the residents of 4 Miles here. We came to uplift our bike, and the CDO, which allowed the gosh. The CDO, who allowed 2 councillors with no proper reason under the Amerindian Act to seize our bike, is now refusing to give us it. Although we have a petition with over 75 persons in the village on it, refusing to give us our own bike. Bye-bye, Anne-Marie.
Yep. There you have it, folks. There you have it. Y'all think things easy in this country? Y'all think things are easy in this country? Well, it is not. I just want to inform y'all. Just in case you are laboring under that impression, I want y'all to know things not easy in this country, folks. Not under the PPP at all. Not under the PPP. Yep. There's a lot happening in Port Kaituma. Yep. Once the PPP involved, all kinds of things you're going to see. All kinds of things. Like this one, Ramson. You remember your boy Ramson, my God. You can't take a weekend off in this country. You can't take a weekend off. It can be something. Ramson hiring and firing. You could imagine the administrator of the Borough School of Arts was wronged. And he get disciplined. He get shouted upon and cussed up. Yep, that's how things happen in this country. And don't dare the churches play your music loud. You can't leave Hickens and the boys alone. For a second, it's trouble and it's problems, folks. It's for a second, don't blink. Don't blink. And then we're hearing here, folks, things on the fight guard. Irfan Ali was give a big speech before the United Nations. Y'all know he just tripped and start came out. So when he got to go before these forums, we'll be very, very nervous. We are usually very, very nervous. And then y'all Priya, she name getting called. Priya name getting called. Give Priya one thing. She didn't come at you. You won't put in no comment on all 100,000 of you. You won't put in no comment on Facebook that are not going to be responded to by the Minister of Education. Yep, the hypocrite. You remember that? She tried to spell hypocrite and spell it as hypocrite. Yep, what a long way off. What a long way off. What a weekend it was. People going in the church. Going in the church. That quite like church. The church quite like church mouse. Snatching away the music box. What music y'all playing here? And when Bertrand Ramcharan, former Chancellor of the University of Guyana, started saying how y'all displaying autocratic tendencies, people get it. Y'all want snatch Bertrand Ramcharan. Yep. Y'all supposed to be snatching Charles Ramson, but y'all ain't snatching him, folks. They're not snatching Charles. You know, we're supposed to discuss it later on in the program. But the Manzo Walton this year say he should resign. Because Ivan Tom, administrator of the Borough School of Arts, says not the first time Charles abused you up and cuss you up. Look, when you got to resort to that, when you as a leader, as a boss, got to start cussing up senior employees, junior employees, any employee, berating them, you don't lose the battle. You don't lose the battle. And because of that, Amanzo Walton Desire says he should tender his resignation. He should resign and go about his business. He should resign and go about his business. How the place, Charles?
Member of Parliament Amanzo Walton Desire noted the attacks against people because of their race. One case involved a young entrepreneur.
I saw a Facebook Live with a young man who was clearly being persecuted because of his race in his business endeavors. And then I read of one of the most notable figures of our arts and culture landscape, Mr. Thom, being constructively dismissed, effectively, being forced to resign from his position as head of the Borough School of Art. And
Ivor Thom, a renowned sculptor, has many works adorning the national landscape. The 1823 monument at the head of Carrie First Avenue is one of the works. There is also the Damon Monument on the Essequibo coast. Miss Walton Desire noted that the two men of African ancestry came from different strata of society. However, they both face issues of racism.
This is something that we have to speak on. And this is something that we have to confront frontally. And you know, you look at it and you see one common thread: the subjugation of what appears to be the attempt to subjugate Afro-Guyanese.
She said that the attempt against Ivor Thom should cause Minister Charles Ramson to demit office.
I believe that if Irfan Ali and Bar Jagdeo are serious about this one Guyana that they trot around the world talking about, if they're serious, they will require his resignation, because Charles Ramson has been excessively disrespectful of the Afro-Guyanese community. I remember some years ago, when he said that Afro-Guyanese did not have role models.
She said that Ivor Tom's contributions to Guyana far outweigh anything that Ramson has ever done and can never achieve.
For Jack Dio to rescind or to reverse Mr. Thom's constructive dismissal is not sufficient. Charles Ramson must resign.
Culture is one of the things that can unify Guyana. Ms. Walton Desir said that to have someone like Ramson to head such a ministry is a non-starter.
He continues to be belligerent. He continues to attack Afro-Guyanese, and he cannot lead any culture ministry.
Yep. That's what she said, folks. He got to go. We're not holding him back. He has to go now. Not tomorrow, not yesterday. Y'all think it's one thing happening under this government? Y'all think it's one thing? But there's plenty things. There's enough things. Let me just give you a couple. Not plenty, good folks. But he should go. You heard there part of the resume of Ivor Tom, steep in the cultural things of this country. And a man could just berate you, beat you down because you tell your friend you can't park there. Folks, there's a wickedness in this country like you cannot imagine. Right? Like you cannot imagine, you know. What happens to those folks who, unlike the young man from over in the West Bank, Mr. Davidson, Joel Davidson, or unlike Mr. Tom, Ivor Tom, whose story never make the newspaper, never make social media. They just stay quiet and they go about their business. There's a wickedness in this country that's unimaginable. Unimaginable. You know, unimaginable. That being said, the Auditor General handed over the 2023 Auditor General's report today to the Speaker of the National Assembly. But us as legislators, we will not be able to see that, folks, until we go back in October when the recess comes to an end. I think that's foolishness. I think that's foolishness. They don't invent things like email, you know. Just send us a soft copy. Let's get on with it. Let's get on with it. So we got to wait till then to inform you folks because it's confidential until it's laid before the National Assembly. This is how backward we backward. Distribute it thing and let's get on with the business of it. And of course, you had Mansour the deer on hand there, and then they're talking up how this speaks to accountability and transparency across government agencies. But we can't see this accountability. We can't see this transparency until October, of course. If they call the National Assembly, if they call a sitting of the National Assembly in October, if and when. That being said, we got some beautiful folks in Kokwani. You know, one of our favorite viewers celebrated her birthday over the last weekend. There in Kokwani, Claudine LaRose Duqua, ring the bell one time here for Claudine. Good to have you. And another young lady celebrated her birthday too. 102 years old. This is Mavis Bartram. Claudine, should we be so lucky? Should we be so lucky? She's known as Mother B. Oh, yeah, put happy birthday in the comment section. We even know Mother B watching us tonight. Please and thank you. She was born September 22nd. Hope we match good. 1922. Where were you? September 22nd, 1922. Beatrice Selby, Rosetta Barton, Rhonda, Abida. Where you all went? September 23rd, 1922. Yep, in Upper Demawara, Berbice. Of course, she's had a full life. A mother of 14 children. She's a skilled seamstress, tailor, homemaker, farmer, everything. She's an all-rounder, like most Guyanese women that we know are all-rounders. Pace and power, folks. We are happy. We are delighted that y'all are here. Pace and power. And of course, happy birthday. Happy birthday. All right, happy birthday to her. Mother B. And all the other folks celebrating birthdays. Happy birthday. Today, this week, this month. Happy birthday to all of you. Y'all know narcotics trafficking now is a national pastime. We saw a radio show host recently, a school teacher. Everybody on a side hustle. Everybody on a side hustle these days, including one Mark Ramdas. He was found with cocaine and marijuana. 5.4 grams of cocaine and 38.7 grams of marijuana. Yep. During the raid on a camp at they call it Uku, Bagdam, national pastime. Everybody in a hustle, folks. In a hustle. Yep. They said that he was asleep. Apparently, when police conducted this search, this raid, finding the drugs hidden in a bottle inside a pillowcase. The thing tucked in. Yep. Some people just trying to escape the foolishness that this country has become, like a minister reprimanding a cultural icon in Mr. Tom, like the victimization and racism we're seeing there in Region 3 at Tushen. People just want to escape this foolishness. But we say, folks, if you can't do the time, don't do the crime. Don't do it. Don't do it at all. This other story here that we're tracking. This one here, a little tingish. Ronadai Rashid, former councillor there on the Region 3. Region 3 stepping up, Bell West. So she's being tormented by a gang. And she believed it's because of her role as a councillor on the RDC. There she resigned and they're still tormenting her. Fell down to her house, threatening her family. She reported the matter to the police. Yep. She said it was a long time before the men were taken in. They were arrested. They were charged. I believe they were even convicted according to the report that we have a 15-man gang tormenting Bell West. Mexicans. No. It's the church speaker that affecting them. You remember when they fired the chaplain? Because the man pray against corruption in the police force? The man's a prophet. What we see now? They're distracted. And issues like this, Ronadai Rashid issue, being tormented in her own house, that is not piquing interest there, She said, on the day that the judgment was handed down, they were missing from court. Listen to this. The lady said arrest warrants had to be issued. Right? And still the men roaming the neighborhood freely and tormenting folks. They're seeing the men with their own eye. But the police ain't seen them. The police ain't seen them. Ronadai Rashid has come to the conclusion, listen to this, that this gang of men, they're being protected. You put a part of the police force? That doesn't even sound far-fetched to me in this Guyana. Don't sound far-fetched to me at all. Don't sound far-fetched to me. No. To Ronadai Ramdas, she's asking for justice. She wants help. Help, she says. As gang violence in Region 3 escalates. What the police going to tell me now? What the police going to tell us now? We want to say congrats to some young people in the Guyana police force, putting their head down, studying and moving forward. You all know how our young people do it in their own way. They went off and did what they're calling a specialist degree in a particular area there. And, we just want to recognize them. We love it when our young people are focused on the right things. I mean, they're young, but relatively young, relatively young. We just want to say kudos to them, trying to find the place here in my notes. Once you miss a lie, everything goes. And this is they did let me get it right. Specialist degree in legal support and national security. There it is at the Rostov Law Institute under the Ministry of Internal Affairs in Russia. And we want to say congrats to them. This is one Alonzo, C. Paul, and Carol, all of the Guyana Police Force. We want to say congrats to them. Mr. Alonzo, Miss C. Paul, and Mr. Carol there, all of the Guyana Police Force. Again, this specialist degree is in the area of criminal law with a minor in preliminary investigation. Right? Ion Alonzo, Deputy Superintendent Ion Alonzo, Woman Sergeant Parima C. Paul, and Sergeant Leroy Carroll doing this specialist degree in legal support of national security at the Rostov Law Institute. We want to say peace and power to them. Yes, we got one or two good people in the Guyana Police. Everybody, one and two good people in the Guyana Police Force. And we want to say congrats to them. Congrats to them. That being said, folks, that being said, one day you see the First Lady, next day you don't. We're happy to have her back. Some folks sending some photograph, and we've been, looking. They see the First Lady right there. We say, where? Looking. I said, look, I gave up at this point. But they said the First Lady had a charity event over the weekend, had a boat cruise. Many other persons say they're looking for her too. Still looking, but they had a good time. Champagne, they said, flowed like water in the Demra River. Yep, raising some funds for her charity work. And we want to say congrats. Yeah. Anyway, we see people doing good. If we have a scrape, I know lots of times we have to do that. We have to scrape, folks, to find the good. We gotta scrape real good. Long and hard to find the good. It's a lot of scraping. A tremendous amount of scraping. Bigly scraping. Right? But we can keep scraping. That being said, folks, pocketary in this country. But what money making and they're going to the right causes, we're going to support it. But we're still looking for the First Lady. She's in this photograph. I said, where? The people say she's in white. I said, there's a lot of people in this photograph in white here. We can leave. I'm tired now. Yep. Disappear. One day you see her, next day you don't. But they said she raised a lot of money over the weekend on this charity event. That being said, folks, congrats. We ring the bell one time. For raising money at charity events. Pim. That being said, folks, some of the other takes we're following. The fella, in the most recent attempt, fella tried to assassinate Trump. Most recent attempts, like every month now. I'm fed up with them. So he left a note. Saying should he be unsuccessful, he's leaving $150,000 US dollars. That's what Ryan Wesley Roth, 50-year-old gentleman, said to somebody to finish his work. Whoever finished my work, he says. Right? Whoever finished my work, $150,000. Of course, he tried to assassinate former President Trump on the 15th of September near one of the Trump-owned golf course in Florida. Police said they found a Soviet-made rifle and other materials in this fella's hideout. Yep, and of course, as I said, prosecutors revealed recently that Roth had left a note urging someone to carry out Trump's assassination if he had failed, offering $150,000 as incentive. Yep, they found this note in a box at another person's home, and it was presented in court. Recently, they said they also found Roth's car containing false number plates and a list of Trump scheduled appearances. So the fellow was determined. He was determined, of course. We saw also recently the Silicon City Master Plan unveiled at the University in Miami. We said University in Miami. Now what Silicon City and the highway going to look like before us. Right? I wish them luck. The snippets that we have of it says it's going to be a 3,500 acres piece of real estate on the Linden-Suicide Highway, and it's going to expect it to evolve over 50 years. It ain't complete anytime soon, but they're hoping to have at least 10,000 residents in there in the next 4 years. Yeah, so you have to come back in. You can hear on the campaign trail just now. Vote me back in so we can finish it. Vote me back in. Yep, still holding for that. Yeah, lots of promises, lots of promises, a whole host, a deluge, a catalog of unfinished projects. Yep, this is gonna be Guyana first or eco-friendly city. I thought that went to Bartica. Nevertheless, they have abandoned those strides there. Eco-friendly material, energy efficient infrastructure. Some of what they're telling us, this new Silicon City is going to boast. Yep. We can show you how them buys is built. It sounds good on paper. We caught up with Pauline Sukai, Alien Mount, saying in one of those heritage celebrations recently that the government is committed to our indigenous brothers and sisters. Yes, it's so true. And yet, 70 schools, over 5,000 students in this country using pit latrines. As the Alliance for Change's leader pointed out recently, and I saw the boy Craig wrote a column today. What's his name again? My God, just forget these people so easily because they make no impact whatsoever. Leno Craig wrote a column today about the Alliance for Change and just shitty business. We just want the indigenous people, to be treated fairly like anybody else in this country. But that being said, don't let me talk the people business for them. In the Alliance for Change's own words, Pauline Sukai claims she loved the indigenous people so much, and the government, the PPP, and so much development, but they're missing a couple key things apparently. And sometimes it's the small things, Sometimes it's the small things.
I want to start off by talking about a crisis that is evident in Region 9 in terms of education. The results for CSEC for Region 9 indicate that 5.66, an average of 5.66% passed CSEC for the region. I'll just briefly give you these figures, and I'm sure the ministry can challenge them if they wish, but they're the ministry's figures. St. Ignatius School, St. Ignatius Secondary at CSEC, 8%. Anai Secondary.
All right, apologies there, folks. That was education. The education crisis in the hinterland, in our indigenous communities. The story that I really want to share with you is this one.
Education Minister Priya Manichan calls the survey to be conducted on the number of pit latrines at schools. This followed the disclosure by the Alliance for Change that pit latrines adorned hinterland schools. AFC leader Nigel Hughes told a recent press conference that the survey found that 77 schools have pit latrines.
When you get over that, all of the schools that have pit latrines are in indigenous areas. Every single one of them. And they are in excess of 5,000 students who are attending schools which only have pit latrines.
He said that this is clear evidence of a discriminatory system.
Not only are they failing at the rate of 95% in Region 9, but they appear to be the only students who attend facilities, educational facilities, where there are pit latrines. This is a report, and I would just ask the minister if she would be kind enough to release the report. I think it is entitled Ministry of Education, Information and Sanitary Facilities, brackets, latrine. The nation needs to sit down as a nation, not as our various political factions, not as our ethnic factions, and acknowledge that this is a awful, awful form of discrimination that is being perpetuated against our First People.
He said that this is a crisis that needs to be addressed immediately.
We urge the Minister of Education to release the figures of her survey. This is not for the purposes of making political points. We wish to score none. What we wish to do is address this awful situation of less than equal treatment to our brothers and sisters in the indigenous community.
One social media commentator queried the failure of the coalition government to correct the situation. Mr. Hughes said that some of the schools have water closets in addition to pit latrines.
When we were in Philippi, that's when Laura, David, and I were in Philippi, you had pit latrines for the nursery and primary, and they had water closets, toilets for the staff. So the staff were getting toilets. They didn't have running water then, but I anticipate at some stage there would be running water in it. And the staff had, I think there were three cubicles with toilets, but those were only for the staff. The pit latrines were for the students.
Member of Parliament Beverly Allard said that it's grossly unfair to expect the coalition to correct the situation created by the PPP during its 23 years in government.
It is unfair to compare a non-oil economy with an oil-producing economy. What you can do in an oil-producing economy, where GDP is growing by double digits, 30%, 35%, 40%, you cannot compare with an economy that was not seeing that growth. Our position is, as the economy grows, invest in a better quality of life for the people. Do not enrich those who are already rich. Let us bridge the divide. And so let us invest in those hinterland communities where the children have to use pit latrines. Let us invest in riverine communities. Let us bridge that divide between the haves and the have-nots.
Yep. Focus enrich those who are already rich. You know, let me have something for the people at the bottom, the man. Let me throw something for the folks at the bottom. Let me put something for the folks at the bottom there. Please and thank you. Yep. Pit latrines, but they care so much. It's the small things sometimes, the little things. I'm telling you. Like at UG, for instance. You know, it's a big headline today that they've written off over $200 million in student debt. Only $200 million country like nothing. In a country that counts everything by billions these days since we pump in oil and gas. Only 200 who? That's chump change, man. Chump billions missing. Huh? They're supposed to have gone to the new building for the Ministry of Public Works. They're on just off Heroes Highway as you pass Higgs Bush. Billions forwarded to that contractor there. They can't give a count for it. They cannot give a count. 200 millions making headline for students there at UG. But listen what happened. You got to understand the playbook of the PPP. You got to understand it. You got student elections coming up. And this is one of the issues percolating. That government ain't doing nothing. It's just pure talk. It's hot air they're blowing. And so they're trying to jump in front of this issue here. Because they don't want the students at UG to start writing. You see, you got student elections coming up. In addition to that, the university just put out a call to students who owe them money to pay up because UG don't run on water. Government writing off debt in one instance, but they're not paying to UG what is owed to UG. That's hypocritical. Irfanali Ashley Singh, shorter balls. That is hypocritical. Or according to Priya, hypocritical would be her word. Hypocrites. Try to spell hypocrites and spell it as hypocrite. Ashni, hypocrite. That's why you're short and kangaroo. Your mind too bad. So they really mean well. It's just politics. Just another day, folks. Just another day. We're watching this and we're going to share more on this with us. We open with a manza. But let's turn ahead. You know, they're talking about 200 million. Where the money gone? Where the money gone? We've seen MP Annette Ferguson speak on this issue numerous times. David Patterson speak on this issue numerous times. The Ministry of Public Works claiming that they're building a 12-story headquarters, as I said, on Heroes Highway, as you're heading to just off Heroes Highway, as you're heading to Higgs Bush. You know where they got the echoes wrong about the Jaguar. You're heading to Higgs Bush. They're building a ministry there, you know. A ministry to accommodate 6,000 people. Close to $7 billion has been forwarded to that contract over 2 years now, folks. You can't make this stuff up. The man ain't put down a beam. He ain't put down a beam as yet for $7 billion with a capital bill. Don't take my word for it. But he missing billions there. That's what we want to know. Listen to the questions that were asked. This is in February of this year, during the scrutiny of the national estimates. Listen to the questions that were asked in the National Assembly. This is how it started. I can show you how it's going in just a little bit. Look how it started. Take a look.
Sir, government buildings, the capital works, government buildings, sir. Can I start with asking the bishop, sir, the honorable member, that 6.699.387 was expended prior to 2024, sir. In 2022, sir, we expended 2.4 billion. 2023, we expended 4 billion, sir. 4 billion, sir. Can I ask the honorable member the status of this project?
Honorable Minister. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. And you would recall that this is a question that is before the House as well, so I'd also give some information. The government of Guyana has determined that we will seek to consolidate our offices into strategic places for efficiency and economy. We are building an office complex of 4 towers, 12 stories high, that could accommodate 6,000 staff with other amenities to create that environment for great efficiency. At the time of the engagement, we were going with 10 acres of land, which I identified at this house. But when we went back to our drawing board and reviewed our connectivity network, we are seeking to reduce congestion and increase accessibility. We might have been creating a congestion because of where we were locating it on the Eccles-Mandela Interlink Road. So we have since been able to move the location of the project to the new Interlink Road that will be between Ogle and what is now called the Jaguar Monument along that, 1 kilometer away from the Eccles-Mandela Interlink Road heading east. It means that you will have direct access from those who are coming from the East Coast, Berbice, or from the east. Those who are coming over from the West Coast, the Demerara Harbor Bridge, would be able to get over through the bridge into Peters Hall, connect, and you can get to that building. People from Georgetown will have several accesses into that using Eccles-Mandela Interlink. Those coming from the upper areas of Linden and West Demerara. So the area that is now located becomes more suitable for accessibility. And we've been able to get 20 acres as against 10 acres. So there is no mystery about this. So what would have happened? We have had to ask the contractor after he signed his contract and was in the mobilization stage to wait with us until we could have gotten that sorted out. And his procurement process and so on would have already kicked in. So we are in a, or I should say, we were in a holding pattern. But you will have seen the land has now been identified. The signboard that the honorable member asked to be put up is already up. And we are advancing with this project now.
Yep. From what he said, things are moving forward. Isn't that what the man said? He said things moving forward. It's nice time. Everything sorted out, the project going forward. In addition to David Patterson, as I said, asking questions in national Assembly, since in February, since in February, and this is 2024. This project started since in 2022, if not 2021. Money done pass, folks, as I said. Annette Ferguson has been another person, MP. Annette Ferguson has been another person in front of this issue. Also in February, spoke to this matter in the National Assembly, asking, John, remember some questions? So he told Patterson, things are moving forward. This is since February, He told Patterson things are moving forward. This is how it started, folks. Listen to the kind of questioning MP Annette Ferguson asked. Hold on, don't go nowhere. We can show you how the project going. And they're telling us they want to build Silica City. They want to build a whole city. It's a building. Giving them trouble. It's roads. Giving them trouble. A whole city. They want to build. MP Annette Ferguson. February of this year.
Mr. Chair, this project is really dear to my heart because so much money have been expended, approved in this National Assembly, and I can't see a design. I don't know about the site and all manner of things. But anyway, the minister stated in 2022, 2.6 billion, when we asked the question, where this building will be constructed, you said in the existing area in Kingston. Let's go to the answer of 2022. You came to the National Assembly in 2023 for an additional $4.6 billion. When we asked the question, it now shifts from Kingston to Eccles-Mandela. December now at your press conference, you stated, without giving any plausible reason why this Mandela location is now shifted, you said Ogle Road. My concern, Mr. Chair, and I guess the honorable member can help us here. One, the contract has been awarded to Caribbean Green Building Inc. I did my research. Caribbean Green Building Inc. don't have a website. It is that very contractor that is building the Shelton Hotel at the same Mandela to Echoes after the Jumbie board, Mr. Speaker. Right? Mr. Speaker. Right? That is what is happening. Mr. Speaker, we saw the start turning. We saw the start turning for the Sheraton Hotel in 2021, early 2021. When we get a start turning for this 12-story building? My question to the honorable member, since we approved $2.6 billion in 2022 and a further $4.6 billion in 2023, close to $7 billion. Since the contractor has not delivered, can the honorable member state whether the $7 billion or portion of that money has been returned to the consolidated fund? And if so, when? Or all the $7 billion were paid to Caribbean Green Building Inc.
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chair, I thank the honorable member for the question. Progress and planning is never static. It's never static. Programming and planning is never static. Now, the decision for the moving of the office complexes is to ensure optimal use of facilities that could be of great benefit to all of us, no matter who's in government. No matter who is in government. So I would say that on this particular matter, and Mr. Chair, while we are here tonight examining and asking for $1 billion, I can assure this House that there is no money that is missing. Well, you can have an investigation. I can assure you that the structures that needs to be imported to put up the 12 stories and the 4 towers that are there is a work in progress. And just to put this matter to rest, even if Caribbean Green Builders is building the Sheraton, which is a private sector investment, this project, Caribbean Green Builders got their contract as a result of an open tender. And if I'm not mistaken, that tender for the office complex and the tender for the Brigdam, the new police station at Brigdam, went out almost the same time. Thank you.
Thank you,
That's
Minister.
all I will say on this matter, Mr. Chairman.
Honorable Member, Ms. Ferguson.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I am not satisfied with the honorable member response. I asked specifically, this money went out, it was approved by this House. We ain't seen no building yet, we ain't seen nothing. Was this money returned to the consolidated funds? Was it $7 billion? All right, let us say that $1 billion was given to the contractor for mobilization, or $2 billion. It will leave us with $4.x billion. Where is the $4.x billion? Was it returned to the consolidated fund? As I'm on my feet, Mr. Speaker, I heard the honorable member stated that in his response to the National Assembly sometime in 2023, he talked about 10 acres of land. I have read the Hansard of 2023, and I ain't seen nothing about a 10 acres land. What I learned about a 20 acres land was in December, was the 31st of December at the honorable member's press conference. All right, let us say the project site is now located the Ogle Road. That area, Mr. Speaker, that's where, you have the dump site. It's heavily smelly, especially whenever it rains. What I need to ask the honorable member is whether an environmental impact assessment was done to determine whether this location is appropriate for the construction of an office complex.
Thank you.
Yep. He just went round in circles and has not answered the question, folks. Has the money returned to the consolidated fund? So up until February of this year, the contract had already been given $6 billion, and they were coming back for another $1 billion. Mind you, folks, this project started since 2022. 2022. I need a drum roll. That is where it started. Let us head over to the Eccles area there, industrial site just off the Heroes Highway, the Jaguar roundabout there, the Eccles roundabout. You pass Higgs Bosch. Imagine 6,000 people are going to be housed in this 12-story building. Right down the road, you got a dump site. An industrial dump site. Drum roll, folks. Let us go and see the big edifice for this $7 billion. How far? This one more people. That's what we should be seeing there. What is on that board? That is what we should be seeing for the $7 billion. Oh my. Since 2022, folks. Since 2022. You know what they're doing? You know what they're doing now? The storage stones on where the building should be. Since 2022, $7 billion. The bishop, the man of God, the man of the cloth, the man of the cloth. 2.6 billion was given in 2022. 4.6 billion was given in 2023. The project moved from Kingston. It be done by Ogle Road. It gone by Eccles Roundabout. And the contractor, Caribbean Green Building, Inc. More focus on the Sheraton than on the project that he gets $7 billion. $7 billion with a capital bill. And them boys around by the whole city is $1 billion. They get $7 billion for. I tell you, then drive a pile, then put a board. That's what we're looking at there. Caribbean Green Buildings, Inc. Folks, this is yesterday. This was taken. The Sheraton also building right on the Heroes Highway there, by the way. But of course, it's not with the $7 billion. Of course, we would never say that of Caribbean Green Building Inc. We might think it, but we would never say it. The question Annette kept asking, MP Annette Ferguson kept asking, has any of this money been returned to the consolidated fund? And the bishop, the man of God, the man of court, and of the cloth, who hasn't spoken a word of the church speaker, like a Tekwe in Region 1, he has not uttered a word. The man of court, of the cloth. That is what the area looks like. That is the site that the $7 billion Ministry of Public Works headquarters should be at. The money was approved by the National Assembly between 2022 and 2023. Folks, 2.6 billion in 2022, 4.6 billion in 2023. And that is what we have to show for it. A bulge of bricks. A bulge of bricks. And as I told you, this thing there right next to Higgs Bosch. Somebody in the wisdom say, Higgs Bosch Tech 1 is garbage we got. We don't have employees. We got garbage. We don't have employees. Folks, this thing will have more people. Oh, somebody share the live. How am I feeling trembling? That's what happens when I see corruption. 7 billion, folks. This is what we got for show of it. A stinking dump site and a set of bricks. But it's probably, they can tell it's 7 billion in stones. 7, right down the road. Who's sharing the damn life tonight? Right down the road, we got Higgs Bosch. Right down the road, we got Higgs Bosch. and the Sheraton. The Sheraton on one side, Hakes Bash next door. And the Ministry of Public Works headquarters missing, along with the 7 billion. It's who thieved the 7 billion? Bishop, tell us who got with the 7 billion? The minister, and it's Ferguson asked him repeatedly, has the money been returned to the consolidated fund? He dance wrong. He dance until now. Where the 7 billion gone, Bishop? Where gone? Remember Ananias and Sapphira? Bishop, remember them. 7 billion. And now we got the stones, piles of stones, and piles of garbage to show. Smash that emoji button. Go to folks. Smash. Smash that emoji. I tell you, once we come in the 592, and you got to deal with the people like the Bishop, like Charles Ramson. We flushing out corruption, Jagnio. We flushing it out. What is 7 billion gone? How come these things don't make press conferences at Freedom House on Thursday? How come these things don't make press conferences at Shipton Ranch and Paul Drive on Thursday? How come? That's what we want to know. How come? Wicked, stink, and dirty. That's this government. That's this administration. That wicked, stink, and dirty. Who vex? I don't talk. You can lock me up now. You can sue me now. I don't talk the things. Who vex? Folks, who vex? That's going to do it for us in this end tonight. Folks. Wicked, stink, and dirty. Good night to all. Except Charles Ramson. Wicked, stink, and dirty. Good night to all except the Bishop. Where the 7 billion there, Bishop? Where it there? Where it be? Where it's at? Folks, share the live before you go. Smash that emoji button too. We want as many persons to get the valid and incredible information. A good night to all. Except one, Jill and Charles Ramson. And who vex? That being said, folks, that's our time this evening. That's our program. Yep. And that's the last bell. Good to see all of you on the program this evening. Donna Miller, Auntie Sandra Hanover, we see you there as well. Harold and Donna Daly, we see you. Rosetta, Lester, Andrew Griffith, we see you too. Sharon, Joy Dotson, Region 1, we see you there. Joy, Everett Small and Keith Adams, we see you as well. Ingrid Carter Truth, you love that name. Shamila Agel, we see you as well. Lennox and Gloria Bushmaster, we see you there. Karen Fresco, a good night to all except them boys, wicked, stink, and dirty. That's our time this evening, folks. And that's our program. We're going to see you guys right back here on the next one. Stay safe.